Welcome to the Hour Show once again. Today I have in the studio with me a pastor, a founding father of a political party. There's a new political party called the Power Unity Party. He's here with me in the studio, and we're going to discuss some of the few things he has in his manifesto, his aspiration, and his thoughts for Ghana. Welcome, Pastor Eliahu Boateng.
Thank you, great man.
You are a pastor, right?
Yeah, I'm a pastor.
Okay. And what is the name of your church?
The Truth Way Chapel International.
The Truth Way
Chapel International.
Okay, how many branches do you have?
Ghana, we have 7 branches.
Branches
apart
in Ghana.
from here.
Okay.
We have 7 branches in Ghana.
And in the UK, how many branches do you
Just
have?
only 1 branch.
Only one. Okay. Why political party now?
The first of all, if you're talking about the man of God, it's not just stand on the pulpit. Okay. Or like a church.
Right.
It seems like when you do that, you are in the box.
Okay.
You think about only few people who are coming to your church only.
All right.
But every pastor, every prophet is supposed to be a nation pastor or a nation prophet.
All right.
And what I'm just trying to do, I just want to make different to tell all the African pastors to think about their nation. And now I don't want to be inside the box to stand only man pulpit. I just want to be a prophet of nation. Think about a nation. Think about man people. How Ghana can be successful. How Ghana can be moved forward. But now I don't want to be just really a pastor, just in the church, but I just want to be a pastor or a prophet of my nation as well.
That's a big ambition.
Thank you.
And I'm very grateful for such wonderful thoughts, because not a lot of men of God like you have that sort of motivation.
Thank you.
There are so many political parties in Ghana. What motivated you to set up yours?
You're right. There are so many political parties in Ghana. I think 26 political parties. But before I've decided to form or establish this political party, I'm just trying to search all the political party in their manifesto and their vision to find out if I can get one of the political party to join them. Yeah. So that my vision will support what they are doing.
Okay.
But I think if I'm doing that, I'm going to lose my focus, because the way I want to change Ghana is different from what they are doing. That's when I just want to separate myself from them and just establish a new political party so that I can contest it with our political leaders to become a power as a president to help my nation.
When did you establish this party?
Almost 2 years now.
Almost 2 years now.
2 years now.
And Unity
Power
Unity Party, PUP.
PUP.
Power Unity Party, PUP, is the name of the party. How did you come by that name? What does it stand for?
The first of all, the most powerful weapons everybody needs, any community or every nation or every church needs, is a unity. Without unity, there's no nation. Right. There's no society. There's no organization. Okay. And if you go back to the history, before the Africa, it's a one nation. Right. We are one nation, one people. But now you can see that Africa has divided. There's a division among our people, which is 48 countries now. And the history told me that a certain people came upon Africa, which is 1884 and 1885. The Europeans and other nations just formed an organization, called themselves Berlin Conference. They just went to conference in Berlin, and their vision to divide the African, because they try to do everything to come upon our people and destroy our forefathers and take our properties, and they did it. And I believe that before a nation can move forward, we have to be united. But if you go to our land, which is Africa, our people, you can see different kinds of division. We are the people, we pray a lot, we catch demons, we prophesy. But as soon as you enter the mix of our people, you can see division, gossiping, and all those. That's when Africa has struggled to move forward, because of there's no unity. And the vision of the Power Unity Party to bring that power again, so that the Africa or Ghana can be successful, can be a powerful nation. Without unity, there's no progression. Without unity, there's no strength, there's no power. And the Creator, God himself, also likes unity. As soon as God decided to do something, he used, let us do, let us build. And God also moved by unity. And the Power Unity Party, it means Power Unity Party will bring that power whom the other nations have stolen from the Africans. That power will come back again to make Ghana to be successful, different.
Now, in terms of speaking about unity, there are various political parties. You have the NDC, you have the NPP, CPP, and all the rest. Are they not united?
There's no united. There's a great division among them. You know, the word unity is just a subject, but you can divide it.
Right.
When you divide the unity, we can get different kinds of branches. Unity is like a tree, but every tree have a branches.
Right.
And you have to see the what they call the action before you can see that unity, because people can open their mouth and say, oh, we are one people. But as soon as you step inside the families and the politicians and the churches, you can see that power.
How are you going to bring about that unity?
The first of all, before the unity can come, we have to establish social contract.
And what do you mean by that?
Okay. Social contract means, number one, we have to understand that we are one people.
Right.
Number two, we have to understand that we have to create one culture, one history, and one language. If you are not understand this, it's very difficult for us to come together as a one people. Because a nation can be successful as they obey the responsibility of the citizens and the responsibility of a president.
Right.
These two things come together and form a unity. Social contact means I understand that I'm a Ghanaian. You have to understand you are Ghanaian. And we have to agree to form one language, one culture, and one history. And understand to obey the laws.
Right.
And follow the principles of the government. Okay. If you do this, that unity will come back again. But if you go back to our people, our land, you can see confusion. Because we don't have a culture that can hold our societies, our nation. We don't have one language that can sustain our country. We don't have one culture that can protect the citizens. That's one confusion among our people. When this thing happens, the unity will start to manifest in the life of the people of Ghana.
Still on unity, you have the NDC, you have the NPP, the CPPs, all these political parties. Why don't you now sit down with all of them and come up with a plan and say, let's unite together. Let's come up with a single party in this country, political party for the people, where we have inclusiveness in governance. Why then do you come up with a separate party?
As I told you before, they come from different direction.
Yeah.
And I also come from different direction.
Where
if we join together, it's not going to work.
How? Why?
Because some of the leaders in Ghana, as I'm talking to you now,
right,
they have vision to destroy the nation. They have vision to use Ghana as their properties. They don't have vision to think about the citizens. But me, I have that vision.
So what is your vision to develop the whole, I mean, the Ghanaian citizens at large and the Ghanaian communities?
Yeah, number one, Ghana is for you and me.
Right.
And every nation also supposed to be self-determination.
Right.
If you have a freedom, you have to be self-determination. It means you have to take care of yourself, protect yourself, create a job for yourselves. And when PUP become a power, what we just try to do, let Ghanaians understand that we don't have any help from other nations. What we have is our land, water, cocoa, diamond, bauxite, and the rest of mineral sources. This is the actual mineral sources the Creator gave it to Ghanaians. We have to use those things to develop Ghana. Because every nation also makes sure to create a job for themselves. But as we come to a power, we will make sure to use those mineral sources to help ourselves to build our nation properly.
Right.
This is our main vision. We don't want to depend on any other nation. Before we can depend on any other nation, maybe we want to do the export and import, like a business.
Right.
But concerned about the build the nation, we have to use the things which the God of Israel gave it to us.
Great. In respect of using what we have, I mean, most of these political parties during campaigns will promise at rallies various promises that will come out. Agriculture, trying to be productive ourselves, creative ourselves, and the same sort of self-determination that you're talking about. What happens when they get to power is a different story altogether. They become even more corrupt than they were. What is so different about you? What is so special about you?
Corruption is inside the blood of every black community.
Right.
From the youth to the elders.
Right.
Now we are struggling to be prosperous because of corruption and other things.
Right.
And our vision to make sure to teach the youth, we start this welfare from the school.
Right.
From 3 years above to 18 years going, we will make sure to teach them in the school that we have to respect everything God has given to us. Number one, if you're talking about the sin is not just only like a fornication or murder or other things.
Right.
But sin also is one of the things that have different kinds of branches of dilations, for example.
Right.
If you urinate here, it's a sin.
Oh,
because here is not the place
for that.
that.
Right.
If you steal something from a government, it's a sin.
Okay.
But because we have different kinds of religions in our community and different kinds of teachings is going on,
right,
we have separated ourselves from the sin that we always committed against our nation. And we think just the sin is just only fornication, murder, all those things. But we will make sure to teach the youth. We start from the youth. Give them a teaching concept about the actual sin committed against your nation. And I believe that as soon as we start this, it will help our people to come out from the corruption. And secondly, also, there's people in Ghana which are not good people who are supposed to be MPs and kings, Before someone can get access to be MP or to be a king or a president, the person supposed to have a good foundation, good character before. But some of the African leaders, they are corrupt from their infancy.
What sort of characters are you expecting from members of parliament, presidential candidates? What sort of characters are you actually expecting?
Number one, I know, which is very important for every president supposed to love his nation. You think they don't love their nation? It's not completely love.
You think Nana doesn't love his nation?
I can't say that. I'm talking about my experience.
John Mahama doesn't love the country.
I can't say that, but the way I'm going to explain it, maybe you are going to understand what I'm talking about.
Okay.
The actual love I'm talking about is very powerful. You can die for your nation.
Okay.
And you can be poor because of your nation.
Okay.
You can lose so many things because of your nation.
Right.
That love is not there. It's not inside of our leaders. It's a disappear from them. And love is very important for everyone who's supposed to be a president or MP.
What about discipline? What about discipline?
Discipline.
Yeah. What about discipline?
Discipline has disappeared from Ghana. There's no discipline in Ghana.
Are you going to take love in? Are you going to take love as opposed to discipline? Now, what do you believe in, discipline or love? If you, at this stage where we are,
if you have love, I'm not sure that you can be a corrupt.
What about being indisciplined?
Okay, discipline also is another thing.
We love God, don't we? We love God.
It's not proper love.
But you see us on Sundays. I mean, in Ghana, it is not even now on Sundays, which is more of a Sabbath day. We have Monday to Sunday, right? All days of the week, we are in church. And we say we love God. But then we come out of church and we do the opposite of what the Bible tells us. We don't clean our environment. Right outside the church, there will be dirt. We don't clean it up. Don't you think we have to first be disciplined before we get to love?
You're right. But we are not understand that love we're talking about. We go to church, all right.
But isn't not you carry on. We go to church,
all right. We carry our Bible. We pray, cast the demons, prophesy.
Right.
All right. But this is not love. When you read the Bible, God also himself said, before you can worship me, love me with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your soul, your spirit, and love your neighbor as
yourself.
But this love is not among of the black community or Ghana.
Don't you think corruption has manifested itself so high in Ghana because of the word love? We pretend to love the correct word, but we are scared of discipline. And therefore, when somebody offends the other in Ghana, we say, oh, let us leave it to God. Come on, he's our brother. What is your take on that? Letting everything to God. Let us leave it to God. But we do not discipline people. People go unpunished for so many obvious reasons. So how are you going to tackle that?
Maintaining a presence at the forefront of a global issue with the desire to help others come to a resolve in personal and business affairs is why NDC Legal and Immigration Associate was established.
We specialize in overseas British passport applications, bails and temporary admission, deportation and detention cases.
The profound pattern in achieving positive results with fragile cases in immigration, nationality, European Union and human rights law, adoption, marriage, divorce, litigation, and so on, up to date, has been broken, and that is why our client base continues to expand.
We also do representations at the UK border agencies and overseas consulate, human rights law, and settlement and leave to remain applications.
We have the right keys to unlock any case across the spectrum of law, locally in London and across the borders in Ghana, where our other branches are established.
We are located at 44 Broadway, Stratford, E15 1XH. Our telephone number is 0203 1300 751. We
lose the responsibility of every citizen. We don't know the responsibility of every citizen. There's are two citizens supposed to manifest in every nation.
Right.
The responsibility of a president and responsibility of citizens. These two responsibilities must work together before that nation can be successful.
What will be your responsibility towards Ghana as a leader? You are a leader of your party, not necessarily a presidential candidate of your party. What if you are to be the aspirant presidential candidate for Power United Party, Power Unity Party? What will be your responsibility towards Ghana?
The first responsibility, which is very important for every government, is supposed to do. Number one, you have to protect your citizens.
All right.
Number one, protection is very important.
Okay.
Number two, you have to maintain a laws.
Okay.
Number three, you have to create jobs.
Good.
And make sure to cause all the citizens to go to school, which is education.
Right.
Number four, which is very, very important. Every president supposed to make sure to create something like equal, like everybody's supposed to be equal.
Right.
Like rights, human right.
Good.
And this is the responsibility of every president.
You believe in human right?
I believe it, but we are not understanding. We take it to different level. Yeah,
would you limit human rights?
Okay, which is 19th century, this law started from Europeans just think about how people treat other people. Because in the beginning of the creation, God didn't create a man to rule you or to rule me. We are equal.
Right.
But some people use their freedom to kill and destroy. You have free to do everything you like. It's not because of you are free, you have to kill.
Right.
Use your freedom to destroy.
Yeah.
You have to use your freedom to do something good, help other people.
Right.
They say the human right, it's not because of you are right to do everything. You have to use your right to do something like evil. No, you are right to go to church. You are right to pray. You have freedom to eat. These are certain things the Europeans or the other nations organize themselves.
What exactly do you think you are going to limit in terms of the Human Rights Act in respect of Ghana? What do you think will change in Ghana if you are to be elected president?
Okay. For example, as I told you, you have to understand the word human rights.
Okay.
And number two, you have to make sure to let everybody, which is your nation, which is citizen, to understand that they have a freedom. And the freedom, as I told you, freedom supposed to freedom supposed to do only good.
Right.
Help each other, hold our hands together, build our nation together.
Right.
But your freedom, like we have general will,
right,
and we have self-will.
Right.
Your will to kill, to destroy. Now others also have a will to do good, to help his nation. And these two wills always fight against each other.
Okay.
And because of that, citizen doesn't have peace, because everybody can kill, everybody can steal.
Okay.
And before we can get peace, we can organize ourselves. We have to obey the general law. General law is the law that a government has established in his country. And all the citizens must put their will together and put inside one man, one person. And that person will form what is constitution or a law for the citizen to obey.
Okay.
Yeah. And as soon as we do that, we can see everybody will be free. Because if you disobedient against general law, the consequences will come.
So
the punishment will come.
Therefore, you're going to incite more discipline.
That's
more discipline, not just love.
Yeah.
So it is love coupled with discipline.
Yes.
You talked about employment. How are you going to create jobs? And a lot of presidential candidates come around. We will create jobs. We will provide you this. How are you going to create jobs in Ghana for the youth?
This question is, you are a very intelligent man. I think you are very, very serious about this work you are doing. It's true. So many presidents have came and gone. They are trying to create jobs in Ghana or Africa. But when they come, they couldn't. Because there's a way you have to use to create that jobs.
Right.
For example, we don't have to expect the foreigners to come and create jobs in our nation.
Right.
The job is inside of a citizen. You have to bring it up.
How?
For example, if you talk about the education, we are not understand education. We think that education is just go to school to be just only doctor, to be a lawyer or other things.
Right.
But education is everything.
Okay.
If you're seamstress, you have to study.
Okay.
Educate what? That's seamstress.
Right.
How many seamstresses did we have in Ghana? Those who have the talent to sew the clothes and other things, uncountable. A government can use them to create jobs for these people. Some people, what inside of them to be a seamstress, tailor, sews trousers and a shirt. This is what they have.
They are still doing it.
But it's not enough. A government is supposed to build the factories or shops in every town.
Nanado is coming up with a factory to a district.
It's not enough.
How are you going to do more?
Yet I will make sure to create job to terrorists.
Yeah.
And for example, I will make sure to connect it with other foreigners who have what who have influence with other functions and other things, so that the factory I'm going to just establish, the materials we are going to buy from the Ghana or the other nation we sow, and contact with other nations and sell to them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We can create jobs for to feeders.
Right.
They have, some people are intelligent and intellectuals.
Right.
They have a power or ideas to create so many things. We can create job for feeders. And the secondary also, this one is very, very important for me. I went to Ghana, and I'm trying to travel to 228 constituencies with my people.
Right.
And I went to one of the schools in the north.
Right.
I feel so bad.
Why?
Because I met 3 boys and they discussed something which is very important, their computer university. One of the guys said that he's a doctor. One of the other guys said he's also an engineer.
Right.
But almost 10 years now, there's no job. They are struggling to find a job to do. Ask yourself why. We don't have that knowledge, ideology to create that jobs. The jobs inside the people.
So are you blaming it on the education system that we are not educated properly?
Yeah, it's true.
So we finish school, but we are not equipped to work.
Yeah, I'm a part of it.
Okay.
But we try to come out from that, to make sure to help our people to understand that education is not just a doctor, a lawyer. But if you are seamstress, or if you are driver, or anything you want to do, you have to study properly.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? So that you can do it properly.
Right.
If you compare Ghana to this country, you can see big difference.
Right.
Because here you can't sell food outside just like that.
Okay.
You have to go to school, go and do the course, to study how you cook the food, how you just serve the visitors and other things. But Ghana is not like that. You can cook food and sell everywhere. In the front of the gutter, park everywhere. Well, this is not good for us because we don't know, we don't understand education. You see, and when we come to power, we make sure to help the people, to train them how they cook the food. If you want to be a driver, you have to go to school to study properly. If you want to cook food like a choba and other restaurant, we have to go to school before we can open door for you to do that.
You are going to be very strict.
Yes.
Very strict, President. Give me some of your manifesto aspirations. Or
before
ambitions.
I can say that, let me use myself as an example.
Right.
I'm not someone who speaks English before.
Okay.
Because I'm educated myself to Twi a lot.
Okay.
All my preaching in the church is only Twi.
All right.
And when this vision came, I said, no, I have to make sure to study how I can speak English.
Okay.
Because what I'm going to do is not just only for Ghanaians.
Right.
And as soon as I just started to go to school to study graduate, but now I'm still moving forward.
Right.
Everybody can do the same thing.
Okay.
As soon as you're learning and you do it, you can do it perfectly.
Right. So you brought something good, as you brought your work out of yourself.
Yes.
Thank you. Give me some of your...
number one, our manifesto based on agriculture, number one.
Okay.
Because every nation on this earth always depended on agriculture.
Okay.
And the secondary, every strand of every nation, agriculture always take a 50%.
Okay.
Concern about the economy. And if you go back to our country, like Ghana, we have a land, we have so many things we can use to create jobs, to maintain our agriculture properly.
Okay.
And that's when PUP have that vision. When we come power, we will make sure to help the farmers and to maintain agriculture properly.
Okay.
So that our nation becomes successful.
That's your number one.
Number one.
Any other
And the
thing?
secondary also, the one thing which I feel so sad to our people, the reason why we are poor, and if we don't take it, we are going to continue to be a poor country.
Right.
We have a land, And because of the division among our people,
right,
the kings and the queens always benefit the land than the president.
Okay.
Maintaining the present at the forefront of a global issue with the desire to help others come to a resolve in personal and business affairs is why NDC Legal and Immigration Associate was established.
We specialize in overseas British passport applications, bails and temporary admission, deportation and detention cases.
The profound pattern in achieving positive results with fragile cases in immigration, nationality, European Union and human rights law, adoption, marriage, divorce, litigation, and so on, up to date, has been broken, and that is why our client base continues to expand.
We also do representations at the UK border agencies and overseas consulate, human rights law, and settlement and leave to remain applications.
We have the right keys to unlock any case across the spectrum of law, locally in London and across the borders in Ghana, where our other branches are established.
We are located at 44 Broadway, Stratford, E15 1XH. Our telephone number is 0203 1300 751.
When PUP become a power,
Yeah.
we will make sure to join all the kings and plan how the land can come back to the hands of the government. For example, if you're a king,
Right.
I'll come to you to buy the land from you. The government will buy the land from you and pay you.
Is that going to be
Yes,
possible?
because we are going to build houses for the whole Ghana. And we are going to use these strategies to maintain Ghana economy properly. When we come power, within just only 6 months, there's no king on this in Ghana can sell a land for themselves.
Not even
We will work
Asante.
together.
Not even Asante.
No.
Not even Aceh.
No. Because the reason I
Are
said
you
the
not going
reason
to
we are poor
interfere
people
with-
because we doesn't want to use our what you call it resources to what to help ourselves. We always.
Are you not going to interfere with their traditional cultures and powers and all that?
No, if you want to bring revolution or change,
Right.
one man have to suffer before.
So yours
Before
is
a change can
revolution.
come.
It is a changeover of entire Ghana tradition and culture.
Yeah. Because we will work. We will work with the kings. What we are going to discuss with them is just they will understand us.
Okay.
We are going to buy land. We are not going to take it free. We are going to buy from you, and start to build the houses, and sell them, and run some of them to the citizens. All the money will come.
I understand. Now, in terms of the kings, the chiefs, the queen mothers, agriculture, I'm sure sanitation is part, corruption, maybe harbor duties and trade. You know, because you live in the UK and I'm sure you spend quite a lot of money. You know how much a lot of people importing items to Ghana spend. I'm sure you know about that. Well, how are you going to tackle that?
Okay, your question again, please.
Harbor duty is so high. How are you going to tackle that?
That one, I don't want to go there because it's too sad. And this one, when they start to do the campaign, they will try to pretend to tell the Ghanaian citizens that, oh, when we come to power, we will make sure to reduce the. But they lie. NPP also do the same thing. But when they became power, look at what they are doing.
So what are you going to do about that?
I can't explain it by myself because we have intellectuals, intelligent people who are work with me.
Okay.
And this decision, I can't just take it by myself. But next time, one of our people will come to explaining.
All right, that's fine. You're not even going to hint us whether we're going to have a duty-free...
No, because we have a plan for that.
Are we going to have a duty-free port?
No, we didn't plan to do that. Actually, we didn't plan to do that.
So what would be so different from Nanado's political sort of ambition in terms of tackling the harbor duties and John Mahama and all the previous government? They always said that.
The reason why he's doing that, because the free education he brought in Ghana is good.
Right.
But he didn't start it properly.
So you disagree with it?
And it has caused a lot of problems. That's when they increase the tax and other things so that they can continue their vision. But as I told you, when we come to power, we will make sure to use our mineral resources, the things that we have, to help ourselves, and all the tax will come down.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you going to tax pastors and churches?
Okay, I didn't say I'm going to do that, but we are going to create a charity.
Okay.
To all the pastors, and we charge the pastors. That's not the way of God.
So you're not going to tax
But they
them?
must to pay a tax, but that tax will be like a charity. You know what I'm saying? But if you tell them directly that we are going to charge you, I don't know what's going to happen to Ghana, because now there's the pastors are free to do everything they like, but there are still, some of them are still take money from the members. But if they pay tithe, if they pay tax, what's going to happen? They will charge you properly before they pray for you. You know?
In terms of
they will charge you.
Yeah, but in terms of that, pastoral issues in Ghana, how are you going to tackle it? A lot of, I mean, the whole country is being is dormant with with churches. Every single corner there is a church.
Thank you so much.
And it's not like that in the UK. So why? How are you going to tackle that?
That, as I told you,
right?
We have a plan for the pastors. Government and the pastors are supposed to rule a nation.
Right.
They're supposed to work together.
Right.
Because the people who are going to church are numerous, uncountable people always go to church.
Right.
And if a pastors understand that they are part of the government,
right,
and they teach their members well, we are not going to have a problem, because pastors.
Are you going to put control in terms of religions in Ghana?
I'm going to work with the pastors.
How are you going to do that? Are you going to control them? How?
Number one.
Right.
In the commandment of God, right, worship God is action.
Right.
Help your neighbor.
Right.
Eat and let someone also eat.
Right.
Wear and let someone also wear. And the pastors know this.
Well, the pastors are only wearing.
Yeah, they understood what I'm talking about.
Okay.
But I'll organize them.
Okay.
And make sure to let them understand that we have to rule this nation together. And I'm going to work with them. Number one, I'm going to form charity.
Okay.
For every pastor to be a charitable. To make sure.
So they register their organizations as charity, or you're going to
This is what I'm going to do.
They already established as charity organizations?
No, it's a council.
Okay, so
it's not proper one.
So the Christian council is what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Why would you make it a charity? Why don't you make it an authority?
No.
So that they can actually charge pastors.
If you want to start something, you have to start from the beginning is supposed to be seen.
Right.
Gradually, it will change by
So you're
itself.
going to move from council to charity. Is that not going to be a disaster?
No.
Why not?
Because the pastors understand that we're supposed to help the poor people. And every money they have to use some to help the poor people in their country. If you don't do that, then you don't understand that God you worship. This is what we are going to do. We have to work together.
Would you ever charge a pastor to court for any improper conduct?
For example, as I told you, we have a general law. All the power of every president is what is law.
Okay.
And if a pastor breach the law of government or the general law, it means it's not the president who is going to punish the pastor. The law will punish the pastor. Because
So
every law, there's the punishment. If you break the law, there's the punishment. As soon as you breach the law, the punishment is there. You know already. It's not the government.
Right.
Yeah. And it's not the government who's going to punish you, but the law will punish you.
Okay, so you are clearly going to distinguish sin from crime. So pastors who commit crime will be charged with criminal offenses.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Right. One important question. There are, so many political parties that have tried to establish in Ghana. Some, have failed. You now have two major political parties in Ghana, which is the NPP and the NDC. How are you going to compete with them?
Number one, if you far from the leaders, it's very hard for you to understand what they are doing. It's not all the political parties for just only individuals. One of the political parties have maybe 4, 8 political parties, but it's very difficult for you to know that this party is for this party, this party, because you are far. There's a secret. And the one thing you have to know that there's time for everything.
Right.
Every kingdom has the beginning and the end. And the NPP, NDC, if they like it or not, their end is at hand. It's when they will come. They can't rule Ghana forever and ever. They will go. Another what?
Now, you said something very important. Which political parties do you think, those little ones, do you think are affiliated to these two main?
I can't say this.
Come on, give us
a secret because
it's a secret.
I can't say it here, but if you
tell
are
me.
far from the leaders of Ghana, you don't know what they are doing. It's going to be difficult for you to know what they are doing. And this is one of the...
How many political parties are there in Ghana?
26. We are the little political party.
But in terms, because, I mean, there are 26, maybe 24. But then there are 2 main heads.
Yeah.
The rest are subdivided.
Yeah.
So you are the 3rd political party in Ghana,
Yeah. And
in a way.
And the secondary, it's not everyone who have that compassion to become a president to help his nation. Some of the political party they just want to do just business, you see. Because if you have a certificate of political party, you can do a business, proper business, export and import. And this is my little idea that some of them that don't have compassion to help their nation. They form a political party because of their business, not the country.
Okay. How are you going to fund your political party?
Again, please.
How are you going to fund it? How are you going to come by? Because in Ghana, I don't know, in terms of you liberating them, you still have to pay them to liberate them. You are giving them freedom and liberty. You still have to pay them. How are you going to fund your... I mean, the NDCs are going around with laptops during the last presidential campaign. And the NPP, I'm sure, will come up with something else. What exactly are you going to do? You're just going to go with just your words?
I can't review all the secrets of Power Unity Party in the studio.
Okay.
But I can tell just a bit about it. For example, when you start something,
right,
you have to sacrifice yourself. Sacrifice is supposed to come first.
Right.
And when the thing started just growing and increase,
right,
it will draw the helpers.
Okay.
Because everything you are doing on this earth, if it's bad, you can get people to support you.
Right.
If it's good, you can get people to support you.
Right.
And Power Unity Party, we believe that the people who is going to agree to join our political party, they will come by themselves. And we believe that sponsorships, financiers, they will come by themselves. But now, by the grace of God, it's not easy for a party can be established because a lot of money is gone. But we have a people who always supported us to move forward. As I'm talking to you now, yesterday someone called in our office that he wants to send cars from America to Ghana because of the Power Unity Party, so that we can use them to do the campaign, other things. If it's not easy, but the help will come by the grace of God.
Okay.
As you are sitting here, you're going to be a part of our helpers as well.
Sure. Well, are you going to be a frequent traveler to Ghana? How are you going to combine these two? You are resident here, your party is established in Ghana. How are you going to do it together?
Yeah, because I will prepare myself fully.
All right.
That this is what I want to do.
Okay.
And by all means, God will give me a strength to do both of them. And I decided to help this country as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you going to still maintain your pastorship?
it can't change.
It will still be the same.
And what I'm going to do if I become a president, it's the same work of God. There's no difference. A pastor and president, we're talking about man of God.
Right.
Man of God is not just the one who stands on the pulpit.
Right.
Police is the man of God because he always protects people.
Okay.
He do God's work.
Okay.
Doctor.
Right.
Or some of the pastors go to the hospitals when they're sick.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Because they don't have gift to do the operation.
Right.
Someone have that gift.
Right.
They also do God's work.
Okay.
Nurses, lawyers like you. And if you're talking about man of God, all these people working with God or Yahweh.
Right. In terms of voting, just before we close, a lot of Ghanaians in Europe and America, they don't have a right to vote. How are you going to fight for that to be instigated so that people can vote no matter where they are located?
You're talking about here or Ghana?
Ghanaians have a right to cast their vote, regardless. I could be Ghanaian living in America, in UK. Once I hold a Ghanaian passport, do I have a right to vote? Are you going to fight for that right?
Yeah, we will definitely do it.
Okay.
We are going to fight for them.
All right. Well, I'd like to say a big thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm sure you'll be coming quite frequent. I'll be looking forward to others in the party to come so we can speak to them and get the idea you guys have to our people.
Thank you.
Your last word to the viewers and your fans.
I just want to say to all the people who always be a part of this big television, that may God of Israel shall bless all of you. Well, I just want to say everyone who are listening to us today that I just want to use myself as an example. I don't know how to speak English before, and I was determined to make sure to educate myself, to study and change my life so that it can support my vision. You also can do that. Ghanaians, we have to wake up and try to do something, make different. Ghana is not there for just only PUP or NDC or NPP. It's for you. You have to wake up, open your heart, use your ideas and your prayers to support your nation. Love your nation and continue to pray for this big studio. Thank you. God bless all of you.
You heard it from the founder and leader of the PUP. It's a PUP. It's a new political party, and they have a big, big ambition and drive to steer Ghana to a proper destination. This is where time will bring us. Join us same time next week. And remember, this is The Hour Show. You can follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.